Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we will talk about a country which faced many difficulties to maintain its position in the cricket world. Today we are telling the biography of a country whose name is Canada. So friends, let's start now. The Canada national cricket team is the team that represents the country of Canada in international cricket. The team is organized by Cricket Canada, which became an associate member of the International Cricket Council (ICC) in 1968. Along with the United States, Canada was one of the two participants in the first international cricket match between two national teams played in New York City in 1844. The annual Canada-US fixture is now known as the Audi Cup. Canada's first international match against a team other than the US came in 1932, when Australia toured. As ICC associate members, the team's first major international tournament was the 1979 ICC Trophy in England, where they qualified for the 1979 World Cup after finishing second behind Sri Lanka. After that, Canada did not make another World Cup until 2003, although they remain one of the leading associate teams. From 2006 to 2013, Canada had both one-day international (ODI) and 2020 international status. However, since the introduction of the new World Cricket League divisional structure, the team has been less successful. They were placed among the lowest-placed teams in the 2014 World Cup qualifier and the 2015 WCL Division II tournaments, and were relegated to the 2017 Division III event as a result. In April 2018, the ICC decided to grant full 2020 international T20I status to all its members. Therefore, all 2020 matches played between Canada and other ICC members from the 1st of January 2019 have T20I status. 7. Canada gained ODI status by finishing above PNG in the 2023 Cricket World Cup qualifier playoff, and will play in the 2023-2027 ICC Cricket World Cup League 2. 1950s. Edit. The Marylebone Cricket Club toured Canada in 1951, the highlight of which was the first-class game played by the Canadian national team, played at Armour Heights in Toronto, which the visiting team won. 14. This was followed by a 1954 tour of England in which Canada played 18 games, 4 of which were given first-class status, including a match against Pakistan who were touring England at the same time. 15. The MCC again toured Canada in 1959, led by Dennis Silk, and played a 3-day game against a Canada 11 in Toronto, which they won by 10 wickets. They were undefeated throughout the tour, winning most of their matches by large margins, but drawing one close encounter with the Toronto Cricket Club. 16. This was the decade when the Imperial Cricket Conference planned to grant test status to Canada, but Canada itself shelved the idea as they felt the Canadian national team was not of a sufficient standard, and needed some time to compete against full member teams as they also wanted to improve their cricket at domestic level. However, things did not go as planned and it took 50 years for Canada to play the next first-class match. 1960s. Edit. The annual series of matches between Canada and the United States continued, alternating between the two countries. Ray Nascimento scored 176 in a 1963 match in Toronto, which was the record for that series. 1970s. Edit. Canada drew a game against Ireland in 1973-17 and toured England again the following year. The tour was a much lower profile one than the 1954 tour, with games being against club sides, county second sides and minor counties. Canada had a 4/6 win-loss record on the tour, and drew a further 6 games. 18. In 1979, Canada competed in the first ICC Trophy. They reached the final of the competition, which qualified them for the 1979 World Cup, where they played their first one-day international (ODI). ODI success 2004-2011. Edit. 2006 started poorly for Canada, losing all of their matches in the Six Nations Challenge in the United Arab Emirates, finishing last. They had improved significantly by the time of the ICC Americas Championship in Bermuda, which they won. Also in 2004, Canada competed in the first ICC Intercontinental Cup, finishing second behind Scotland. The highlight of the tournament was a match against the USA in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, when John Davison recorded the best match bowling figures since Jim Laker's 19 wickets against Australia in 1956. In 2005, Canada again finished third in the ICC Trophy, giving them official ODI status from 2006 until the 2009 ICC World Cup qualifier, also qualifying them for the 2007 World Cup. However, their performance in the Intercontinental Cup that year was not as good as in 2004, as they failed to progress past the first round. In 2006, Canada performed well in the four-day ICC Intercontinental Cup, beating Kenya by 25 runs and Bermuda by 9 wickets, but their one-day performance was the complete opposite, losing 3 times to Bermuda and Kenya, and once to Zimbabwe. In August, Canada competed in the first division of the Americas Championship. They beat Argentina and arch-rivals the United States, but lost to the Cayman Islands and eventual winners Bermuda to finish third, their worst-ever performance in the tournament. In June and July 2008, Canada played 3-0 against Bermuda and Scotland, and hosted Bermuda for Intercontinental Cup matches. In August, Canada traveled to Ireland for the World 2020 qualification tournament. Canada failed to qualify for the World 2020, finishing 5th ahead of Bermuda. The ODI and Intercontinental Cup matches were interrupted by rain. In late summer 2008, West Indies and Bermuda came to Canada to play the Scotiabank one-day series against Canada. Canada defeated Bermuda, going on to face West Indies in the final. West Indies captain Chris Gayle hit his 16th ODI century and led his team to a comfortable 7-wicket win against Canada in the final of the Scotiabank one-day series in King City. During the Scotiabank series, Rizwan Cheema's talent was discovered. He became the star of the first Al Baraka T20 Canada. The tournament featured Canada, Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe. Canada lost both matches and tied one match, although in the tie with Zimbabwe Canada lost on points in the bowl-out. Sri Lanka eventually became the winners, defeating Pakistan in the final. The tournament was expected to be played annually for the next 4 years. In late November 2008, Canada participated in the Americas Championship in Florida, United States. The United States united after several years of disarray and won the championship. Canada finished third behind Bermuda on net run rate, as their match was washed out due to rain. In April 2008,